Welcome back, investigators, to the second part of the Psychic Detective series on the case of David the Singer and Celeste Hernandez. In this video, I will solely be focusing on the energy of Celeste. And as a disclaimer for this reading, I want to let you know that this is a psychic/energy-based reading for spiritual and entertainment purposes only. It does not replace facts, evidence, or ongoing investigation. And if you haven't already watched part 1 on David's energy, go back and watch that. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. So in this reading, I'm going to be calling on the energy of Celeste's higher self and the protective spirits to reveal the truth that she wants us to know. This reading is done with compassion and love for Celeste's spirit. So let's go ahead and get started. And it's 5:55 on my clock. So we're going to do just like we did in the last reading. We are going to go by rows. So the first question that I'm going to be asking is, what is the emotional state of Celeste? Or, what was she experiencing in her final days or weeks? So what do we need to know? Broken relationships, broken promises. This could be with romantic relationships. This could be with friends. This could be with family members as well. It says self-love, disharmony, distrust, breakups, imbalance, tension, and broken communication. Okay, so I don't know if her and David broke up. If they had some altercations, some fights, or maybe it could have been with her family as well that she had some fights with, or there could have been another energy involved, another person that could have been involved. All right, what else do we need to know at this point in time? Okay, this card literally flew over there. Okay, something in regards to the mother as well. Okay, so I don't know the involvement of her mother in this. I don't know if there was a separated relationship between her and her mother. I don't know if her mother, I hate to say it, like sold her off. Okay, I don't know if there was a rift. I don't know if there was, I'm getting stubborn energy as well. Okay. We got some more water coming out, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So I don't know if her mom was any of those water signs. Okay. But I do feel like there was a disharmony or a break in the relationship with her and her mother, or the nurturing energy, or in regards to love or feeling loved or feeling cared for is kind of what I get with that. All right. What else do we need to know in regards to this case? How was Celeste feeling in the last days or weeks? We have the Page of Swords. Okay. So I feel like maybe there could have been a little bit of spying. Okay, somebody could have been watching her. She could have been watching someone. Okay, something in regards to social media is kind of what I get with that as well. There could also be some type of rumors, or somebody could be discovering some information or discovered information through social media, through some text messages. I'm not sure. It could have been in regards to something about David, or maybe David could have got some information about her through social media, something in regards to the motherly energy. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. So in the next row, we are going to tap into the energy and the connection between Celeste and David. So how did Celeste view David and their relationship? All right. How did Celeste, hang on, we got a card that's over there. All right. I feel like this is earth energy as well, towards Virgo or Capricorn. Okay. But I felt like, she felt like he was very kind, generous, thoughtful, helpful is kind of what I get. Maybe he brought balance into her life. Maybe he gave her money. He provided for her is kind of what I get with that as well. Let's see. It says giving, receiving, sharing wealth, generosity, and charity. Okay, so I'm not sure if, David was, providing for her and could have been other people, or maybe he could have been providing some money towards the mother, because I keep going up to that mother energy as well. But overall, I do feel like they had a good connection. Okay, and he did help her out a lot. Maybe he helped her escape from situations is kind of what I get, especially in regards to home. What else do we need to know in regards to their relationship? The 9 of Cups came out again, right? And this came up in David's reading, so please go ahead and check out that video. But let's go ahead and start out with the 7 of Wands. So I feel like in regards to the connection between her and David, there had to be boundaries, or maybe there were no boundaries. Like everything was like, bets off, or it's just like somebody had leeway to do what they want because they were giving money or they were providing something is kind of what I get. Like, or maybe in regards to David himself, maybe he could have had strong boundaries, or maybe he could have set the rules, like you had to play by his game is kind of what I get with that. Like I said, we got the 9 of Cups coming out in regards to their connection, and this came out in the same position for David's reading. So I do feel like they brought happiness and content to the relationship. I do feel like David was like a wish fulfillment to her. Maybe this is something that she dreamed of, she was happy about, she was proud of, she bragged about it is kind of what I get with that as well. It says It says wish come true, contentment, satisfaction, emotional stability, luxury, gratitude. All right. So very thankful. Okay. I feel like she was very appreciative. Okay. Even for the small things, because maybe she didn't come from a life where she had much or she was given much, especially in regards to love and opportunity. All right. And recognition is kind of what I get with that as well. And then we also got the 10 of Wands. So in regards to their connection, we got a lot of fire energy coming out here. So I believe David is an Aries. Okay, but we got Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius energy could be coming out here. But I feel like, you know what, he helped her carry a load is kind of what I get. Or maybe he took on some of her burdens, or maybe she took on some of his burdens. I'm not sure. Or maybe she just had a difficult life. I'm not sure. It says burden, extra responsibilities, hard work, completion. Okay, so I feel like maybe there was some baggage that, you know, she was carrying with her. This could be, you know, fractures in other relationships, okay, or moments in this relationship. I'm not sure what's going on, but somebody was definitely feeling burdened, stressed out, and overwhelmed. Okay, so the next row that we're going to go into is what happened or the circumstances around her passing. And I'm just going to ask, what does Celeste want to share about the circumstances of her passing? Okay, if she doesn't want to talk about it, she doesn't have to. What does she want us to know in the collective? Okay, she just wants us to know, you know, that she was very strong. Okay, she tried to have her own independence. She is a Virgo. Okay, we got Virgo coming out on this card as well. Okay, so she was very strong-minded, could be a little bit stubborn. I was getting that energy earlier. All right, she tried to do a lot of things on her own without asking for help, but because she was so young, you know, she did have to get assistance from other people. But I also do feel like maybe she acted older than her age is kind of what I get, even though, you know, people say, well, you know, a child is a child by her age, but some children are more mature, you know, they're ahead of their years is kind of what I'm getting with that as well. Maybe she had to take care of herself a lot of the time. Okay, maybe she had to provide for herself. I don't know if that's food, clothing, and shelter. Maybe she had food, clothing, and shelter, but maybe in regards to that motherly energy, okay, she just felt like, you know, she had to prove something to her mother, or maybe her mother could have been in some type of competition with her, or maybe her mom could have been a narcissist, something like that. Okay, but let's see, what else does Celeste want us to know about the situation or the circumstances surrounding her unaliving? Okay, somebody could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, male. All right, so somebody has some type of information. Okay, somebody could be like really like calculated, or this was premeditated is kind of what I get. Somebody planned this. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is David's energy. I don't know if this is somebody else who could be involved in this case. We also got the Wheel of Fortune coming out. Okay, so I feel like somebody could have got some money, or this could have been over money, fame, fortune. All right, getting good karma. Okay, but it's just like, you know, if you're doing things the wrong way, the not honest way, you are going to get bad karma. Okay, what goes around comes around. The Wheel of Fortune is always turning. Okay, and I'm also getting like this was kind of fated. Okay, or this was meant to happen, or like I said, somebody planned this. Okay, premeditated. And then we also have the Chariot card in regards to what happened in regards to the circumstances. I feel like there could have been some trafficking. Okay, I feel like, you know, maybe she was, you know, on the road a lot, or maybe she was, you know, she didn't have a stable home or a stable place to call home is kind of what I get. I also get the energy that she possibly thought like she knew it all. Okay, even though she's young, you know, we always think that we know it all, but we don't. Okay, she had to learn some lessons, but I feel like she had to learn hard lessons sooner than she had to. Okay, so let's go ahead and tap into this true crime oracle in regards to what we need to know about this case, okay? About leading up to her passing, before her passing, and even after. What's a possible outcome? Let's see what this first card is. Okay. Ooh. Somebody's going to jail. Okay, I'm not sure if this is David. I don't know if this is, you know, someone else. Okay, the accomplice. Okay, I don't know. Like I said, other people that could have been involved in this crime. Okay, somebody will be confessing is what I get with that as well. It could be an older gentleman that could be involved in this. Also, but let's see. And I believe in David's reading, he did get the 8 of Swords, which is about being in prison or feeling trapped. Let's see what else. What else do we need to know about Celeste and her energy regarding this case? Oh, I knew this card was going to come out. I just said trapped, and look what card came out. I was literally envisioning this card, and it came out in the reading. Okay, so I do feel like, you know what, I hear every dog has its day. Okay, is what I get. So it's just like, you know, you do the crime, you do the time. So there are people who are going to go down for this, or they're going to be in prison is kind of what I get with that as well. Or somebody is feeling trapped in a situation, or maybe she could be feeling trapped in the afterlife is kind of what I get. Maybe she hasn't completely moved on yet, because the way she passed, or, you know, how fast she passed is kind of what I'm getting with that. I'm not sure. I feel like she is in the in-between. And I know that kind of sounds weird, but that's kind of what I get. She's in the in-between. Okay, so what else? So she possibly hasn't completely crossed over. All right, what else do we need to know about Celeste? What else do we need to know in regards to her energy in this case? All right. Ooh, we got burial. Okay. Okay, so I did get some information, you know, that her body was returned back to her family recently. Okay, I'm not sure when they had their funeral. Okay, but she will be getting a proper burial. All right. I'm not sure exactly, you know, if they have all the body parts is kind of what I get. I'm not sure because I haven't did too much digging into this, okay, because I didn't want it to cloud my judgment in regards to this case, because there's a lot of information out there. I kind of just wanted to see what the cards had to say. We got alive. Okay, so I feel like, you know what, unfortunately she has, you know, passed on. Okay, or now hear me out. I know that they have a case of two Celestes. Okay, so I did get a comment on one of my videos on TikTok. Check me out on TikTok if you haven't already. But they said something about faked death. Okay, so there was like an older Celeste and there's a younger Celeste, and one of them was unalived, and they said like the younger one took over her spot, or maybe the older one took over her spot. I'm not sure. Okay, or some people who are involved in this case is still alive at this point in time. Okay, but I feel like, again, in regards to David's energy, maybe he could be thinking about unaliving himself because of his involvement. If he wasn't involved in the actual unaliving of Celeste, he had some part to play in regards to dating a minor, having relations with a minor, and then other things, you know, he had a part to play in. His hands are not clean. All right, so let's see what else we need to know about Celeste in this case. What do we need to know? Oh, we got, yeah, she was this was planned. Okay, just like I said, premeditated. Okay, this was calculated, this was planned out. Somebody knew exactly what is like a hit. Okay, or maybe somebody who did this to Celeste has done this to other people as well. All right, I'm hearing trained professional. Okay, so I don't know if somebody could have been in authority or something like that, or somebody who had some type of power, or somebody who was just, you know, they knew what they were doing in regards to this. Okay, or maybe they were assigned to take Celeste out. It is kind of what I get. So let's see what else. One more card. So we I kid you not, I was thinking about this card too. That's why I was like, I don't know if all her body parts are there. You know, because I heard that they found like her body parts, we're just gonna say. Okay, and then we got dismemberment. Okay, so just like the card says, okay, so maybe they don't have all the body parts. Maybe they are still, you know, trying to figure out where they went, if they weren't together all in the same place, or what happened. Okay, or maybe this was just saying that she was, you know, dismembered. Now, this last portion is going to be Celeste's spirit message. So this is going to be about what Celeste wants us to know. It's going to be about the truth, about the justice in this case, and possibly any messages to her family. Okay, so what does Celeste want us to know? What would Celeste want us to know right now at this point in time? Okay, it says, I'm so much better now. Okay, so that's good. Okay, rainbows could be significant as well. And I'm also hearing the song You Are My Sunshine, My Only Sunshine. Okay, so she could like rainbows or something, or maybe her family could be seeing rainbows, or somebody has seen rainbows. I'm also getting like bubbles. Okay, and I'm also getting like flowers possibly. Okay, but she's in a better space now. I feel like she has learned some things, but I feel like there's still so much she has to learn on the other side. But she's like not suffering anymore, if that makes sense. Or she doesn't want people to think that, you know, she's horrible and she's in this dark place, because she's not. I felt like she was actually, you know, greeted by some loved ones, her spirit team as well. Okay, so she was greeted when she crossed over. And we have, I watch over you every day. So I feel like, you know, there could be some family members that she watches over, such as siblings, is what I would say. Okay, it could be a family member, it could be a father. I'm going to say a father, or I'm just going to say it could be a sibling, or maybe even a good friend. I'm not sure, but her energy is around. She does still come, you know, and she does visit. Okay, she hasn't been gone that long. Like I said, she's still in the in-between, but she has learned some lessons already. Okay, so what else does Celeste need to know, or what does she want us to know at this point in time? What does Celeste want us to know? All right, it says, It says, I have no more earthly worries. Okay. Again, flowers could be significant. Sunflowers, yellow flowers, because I'm seeing them in all three of these cards. We got the yellow flowers here, we have the yellow flowers here, and we have the sunflowers right here. And I'm seeing the sunshine here, the sunshine here. Something in regards to the clouds too. Maybe somebody could be seeing messages in the clouds, or maybe she pointed out things in the clouds. Okay. I do get like this childlike energy as well. Okay. So yellow could be significant too. Maybe one of her favorite colors. I'm not sure. Okay, let's see. What else does Celeste want us to know at this point in time? She wants us to know, I'll always give you a good night kiss. Okay, this is coming back to somebody that she's watching over at night. We got two hearts here. So I do feel like this could be a sibling, okay, or this could be somebody that she really cared about. It could be like anybody that she cared for. It doesn't have to be family, but it could be like somebody who's just like really close to her. Okay, and what else? It says, I see all your thoughts. Okay, so this is for people who might be still thinking about her, wondering about her, like, is she okay? Did she suffer, or whatever the case may be? Okay, so she is seeing these thoughts. She is seeing the thoughts of her mother, her father, you know, the people who were involved. I don't know why I'm getting the movie The Lovely Bones, or it's Lovely Bones. I can't remember, but I'm getting that. Okay, so like she kind of seen, she's seen what happened to her. Okay, maybe she could have been in denial, or maybe she hasn't accepted that that was her demise, and that's why she could be stuck in the in-between. That's why she could be stuck in the in-between in the field of flowers. Okay, what else does Celeste want us to know? Okay, it's not your fault. Okay, so this is just saying maybe this could be something that she's trying to learn over there, that it's not her fault, or maybe she wants somebody to know that it's not their fault of how she passed, or she doesn't want somebody to feel guilty about something that happened in regards to her passing, or leading up to it, or previously, or something like that. Okay, or maybe she's just, like I said, she could be in denial about what happened. Maybe she could have felt like it was her fault. Maybe she still does feel like it's her fault, but she's learning on the other side, like, it's not my fault. I didn't deserve this. No one deserves this. But that's going to wrap things up, detectives. This was a reading specifically connecting to Celeste's energy in this particular case. Now, if you want me to connect with her mother's energy, because we spoke about that earlier in the reading, all right, go ahead and comment for part 3. And also, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future readings in this series. And for shorter clips and exhibits, follow me on TikTok at the Psychic Detective 099. I will leave all that information in the description below.